trust on me. So thank you so much. Without wasting much of your time, since we have only 1 hour, so I'll be showing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So in this FDP program, so the first session is on the art of writing thesis. So before that, there is some question. What do you mean by research? You all are going through some PhD work, some are pursuing PhD, some want to pursue PhD, some are trying for net examination, clearing the net examination, some are trying for clearing DEET examination. So why do you want to go for research? Is there any answer? Why do you want to go for research work? Why is it necessary for you? Gee, somebody has raised the hand. May I know? Do you want to answer? Shiv Kanya ji, you have raised your hand. Do you want to answer? For finding, yes, yes. You can write down in the chat box if you are not able to speak. For finding solution. No, my general question. Why you are going for research work? Why do you want to go for research? Why do you want to go in the field of research? Is it so? For finding solution, I'm not talking about research. What is research? I'm talking about you. Why have you taken this any topic related to research activity? Do you want to be in the research field? Do you want to be in the academic field? Why you want to go for research? Okay. See, generally what we do, whenever, the very first thing that I would like to tell, it will be the two-way communication. So please answer whatever questions I will be asking. If either you can unmute yourself and answer, or you can write down in the chat box. New invention. See, generally, when we go for research activity, when we go for research work, we generally go for research work because we are into academic, want to uh, uh, want to in the permanent job. We do not want to lose our job. So just to get a job, just to be in the academic field, we go for research work. This is fact. Because I am into the academician field. So to hold my job, for the security purpose, PhD is required. Right? This is the general reason. This is applicable all over the scenario. To satisfy our ego, suppose our friend has done something, or he's into the research field, he's doing PhD. So just to satisfy our ego, it's like, if he can do, if he can be involved, if he can involve himself in the research field, why can't I? Just to add the value of CV. So we go for research activity. Obviously for promotion, because unless and until you complete your PhD, you won't be able to promote. You will not be promoted in the from organization point of view. Suppose if you are the lecturer, then you will promote it to assistant professor. After assistant professor, you will promote it to associate, and then professor, and then so on. So for a promotion purpose, this is the fact, right? For interest, generally, some people have interest in the research field, in the field of medical science, in the field of social science, in the field of finding out the solution for the society, to learn new things, what new things are available for the invention purpose. Actually, they want to contribute towards society. So these are the basic purpose. So our motive is on writing the thesis. So how many of you are here who are into the research field or who are pursuing PhD? How many of you are there who are pursuing? And we are 40, around 40 candidates we are. So how many of you are pursuing PhD? How many of you are new to this research activity? Can you please raise your hand? If you are new to this, then this FDP is actually beneficial for you. Please raise your hand that I can see. यहाँ पर see, here I can see that only 2 people have raised their hand, I think. Okay, 4 people. You are new to this research field? Those who are new to this research field can raise their hand, or who are pursuing PhD. They can raise their. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what about others? Have you already done PhD, or you are from other field? So most of you are doing PhD, pursuing PhD. So when you go for PhD, you know very well that the first step is to clear the examination of NET. When you clear the examination of NET, NET, then there are 2 options available. If you clarify the examination of JRF, or there is opportunity that you can directly get the opportunity after clearing JRF. JRF means Junior Research Fellowship. So here you get scholarship. When you qualify the particular criteria, then you have when you qualify the particular criteria of NET. I mean, if you get more than 80% or more than 75%, so you qualify the NET as well as JRF also. So when you qualify JRF, so you get scholarship, and the research process will start. And if you qualify NET, then you have to search guide, and accordingly you have to prepare your research proposals and all, but here you do not get any scholarship. Then when you are into the research field, so this is the option of NET. Another option is DET, entrance test, doctorate entrance test. So when you qualify DET, so here again, this is another option where you can enter into the field of research activity. So once you enter into the research field, so there are some FDP, some workshops are available for you. This through this workshop or FDPs, you are able to direct yourself in the research journey. So when you talk about thesis, so thesis means what you have to do. First, you have to give synopsis for that. On the basis of synopsis, research committee, you have to show this synopsis to the research committee. And when you qualify this interview or viva, then again this research journey starts. So when we talk about this, showing my, so generally people face problem ki how to select a topic. Selection of topic is difficult task. It is a complex task. So generally up till now, up to my experience, what people do, they select topic as per their availability, where they get the where they get easily information, where they get easily information, where they get data easily from institute or organization or company. So they opt that research topic generally. Some people, what they do, they select the topic as per the guide preference, not as per their own interest, own choice. Some people select that topic on the basis of their personal life experience. Suppose somebody was working in the company and now they have shifted from company to uh, this academic. Now they have become academician. So they have shifted from company to academics. So they have shifted their profession. So based on their personal life experience, they select the topic, because earlier they work in HDFC Bank or LIC or any other RBI. So they found that it is easy topic for them to take the topic of banking. Then as per their, some people select topic according to their friend circle, or if there is any financial limitation, or if theses are already available in the Shodh Ganga. So as per the availability of thesis or research paper, they select the topic. But this is not a good way to select the topic. So what to do? There are some AI tools available where you can find out the gap as per your topic. But topic you have to select. Either you can select the topic as per your choice, or you can read newspaper, see the trends, what trends are going on. Accordingly, you select the topic. Or there are some AI tools available if you are interested in some topic like banking sector. So many studies have been done in the field of banking. So what you can do, you have to find out what things are not included up till now. So you can go and search in that particular field, right? So there are some topics available. There are some AI tools available to search literature, to find out the gaps, etc. So now my topic is on how to write thesis, right? So this is the thesis. Before we go to thesis, so the very first thing is you have to submit the synopsis to the research committee.
Excuse me,
So
ma'am.
Sorry?
Ma'am, PPT, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, I have not shown anything. I was just talking to you. So,
Okay, ma'am.
so that was the real life experience that I was sharing. Now I come to the PPT. So now my topic was synopsis. So before drafting thesis, the very first thing, the journey starts with the synopsis. Now, this is the template of synopsis. You know, first you have to submit the synopsis. Synopsis means here you have to put the logo of the organization or institution where you are working. Then you have to put the title, and then this is synopsis of PhD, or you have to write synopsis of PhD, whatever it is, name. This is the front page. And this second page is of content, and after content you have to specify what you have included. So what you have to include in synopsis. In synopsis, it is a detailed summary. This synopsis is to be submitted before thesis. This is the detailed summary of the research work that you will be going to do in 2 to 3 years, right? So whatever language you are using there, it will be in the future tense. What you will be doing. First, you give the introduction, the title, the introduction, what topic you have taken, why you have taken. Now you have to give information about the past studies, if there are any past studies, what studies have been done in your area, and then what you will be doing, what data you will be collecting, what type of data. Is it exploratory or it is descriptive in nature? It is causal effect. Which type of study? What is the type of research design? How many hypotheses you are going to frame? What will be the objective of the study? What tools and techniques you are going to apply? So this all this thing has to be kept in mind before you go for the submission of the synopsis. So these are the points. Now, what is to be included in synopsis? Obviously, title is there, abstract is there. Abstract is a gist of what you have done. So in 200 to 300 words, you have to include the background in 1 or 2 lines. Then you have to specify the sample size, the research design, the result that you have obtained, that you are going to obtain. What is the aim and objective of your study, the literature review, the methodology, the conclusion, timeline, reference. So these all things are to be included in the synopsis, right? Once you submit the synopsis, you will be called for the viva. And once you crack the viva, your research journey will start. Some suggestion will be given by the research committee members that you can change the topic. Either you fully change the topic or you change the area, or you can do this type of research study has already been done by someone. Now why you are going to do this? So you can say ki there is some gap. So either what type of gaps are there? So I'm going to explain ki gap means what area you can take. It is not like ki gap is only one. There are many ways to find gaps. So I will show you in this PPT. I hope it is clear up till now. So I told you ki what is abstract. Abstract is the first impression, right? What you have done in your abstract. It is a gist of your entire work. It is the initial impression of your research work. It includes all the things what you have done in your study. So it is a summary of overall proposal, which is done in 200 or 300 words. It is a brief about your study. It includes the purpose, the need of study, the problem, from why this problem arises, what steps have you taken to eliminate the problem, what are the main objective, what findings you have done, what tools and techniques you have applied, what is the future scope of your study. So in abstract, you have explained the entire thing, right? Now, title. When we come to the title means it should be attractive. It should specify each and everything. In title, it should specify what research you are going to do. The research is about what thing. So the very first thing is to decide title. And the title should be self-explanatory. It should say, title itself should say ki what research is about, right? It should neither too long, neither too short, and it should, the study or impact, these words should be avoided because these are old-fashioned words. Like refrain from using the sentence. I have given the example. A study to investigate the role of Democrats in shaping the political system. So these type of study are old-fashioned. So what you have to do, the mediating effect of employee performance on or organizational performance on employee. So the mediating effect, mediating itself has a meaning. That means you have applied some tool, right? It is a combination of dependent and independent variable. What your study is about, it should explain in the title, right? Now, when you choose your research topic, which was the most technical thing, choosing the research topic. Now, what you have to do after choosing the research topic, you have to narrow it down. Suppose your topic is on social media. So this is the what what has come in your mind, social media. So this is the research topic you can do, but you have to narrow it down. Social media, can we take for the teenagers? What are the problems going on? So you have to consider just because of social media, what problems are going on, identify research problem. This work is to be done with the help of literature review, right? So you have to identify the research problems. Social media is the generalized thing, but you have to narrow it down. Social media, the impact of social media on where? Create research design. Sorry. So you have to identify the problem. Develop for when you identify the problem, you have to develop the research question. If this is the question, then you have to try to solve the answer with the help of research design, with the help of questionnaire, with the help of methodology. And finally, you start your research proposal. So up till now, it is clear? Do you have any problem? Up till now, any problem? Shall I proceed? So choosing, I told you how to choose topic. There are many ways to choose topic. When I started my PPT, then I told you there are some AI tools available. With the help of some keywords, you can select the topic. With the help of trendy, with the help of journals, with the help of environment, newspaper, what trends is going on, what trends are going on. With the help of that, you can choose your own topic. Then after that, what you have to do, you have to identify the problem, where the problem is. Yes, why it happens. You have to identify what is the social cause. The problem should be related with the society. You have to consider the area of concern for the organization or for the society, or the difficulty faced by the specific group of the society. So identify the problem. You have to identify the problem where it has negative impact, where it is creating problem. What is the practical issue? Because research is what you are contributing towards society, right? So if I talk about identification of problem, the identification of problem means what are the problems facing by society due to that? What are the problems involved in the title? I mean, what are the problems involved in it? Suppose your suppose your topic is on microfinance. So microfinance is a vast thing. Microfinance institutions are many. Various microfinance institutions are available. So the topic may be is the working pattern of microfinance institution are same. So what is the problem? Problem is whether those who are taking micro loans are getting benefit or not with the help of microfinance institution. So is there any problem? Are they able to raise their standard of living? If they are not raising their standard of living after associating themselves with the microfinance institution, then what is the problem? You have to identify why they are not going to raise the standard of living after getting micro loans from the institution. You can do comparative study also with self-help group. Although these two are different mode. Self-help group is different, microfinance institution is different, right? So you have to identify the problem. And this identification of problem is done with the help of literature review. Because many studies have been done On the basis of that, you will be able to know what is the gap, right? Then we have formulate. On the basis of problem, you have to formulate your research question. Since this is the problem, then what you will do, the question arises in your mind. If this is the problem, this is the question. Now, what you have to do, you are formulating the research question. You are in the phase of formulation of research question. When you formulate research question, you have to develop conceptual framework, or you have to go for the hypothesis testing. So once you identify the problem, you create research question, and then you create research design. Research design includes where to collect data, how to collect data, is it quantitative study or qualitative study, or what will be sample size, where what will the time scale of your research, what is the location, what is the area of your research, what participants are to be included. These are considered in the research design. On the basis of this, you test the hypothesis. And here at the time of analysis, you apply tool. Right? So choose your research topic. Accordingly, you have to, how you are going to choose research topic, because how you are going to choose, first you have to identify problem. Okay? You have to identify a problem, whether it is based on society, whether it is based on organization, is it creating any problem to someone. Now, then you have to frame question accordingly, and then you go for the research design. Now, when you go for the aim and objective of the study, aim and objective of the research proposal means what expectation, what is the expectation of researcher? What is the overall purpose of your research? Aim and objective means what is the overall purpose of your research? You have identified the problem. That means the objective is to solve this. Why it is going to happen? How it is going to happen? This is the objective. You are at the stage of finding out the solution. So these, on the basis of objective, you frame research questions. On the basis of research question, you design research design, right? So we start with introduction. When we are at the verge of writing introduction, so what is to be included in introductory part in drafting thesis? Introduction means, what do you mean by introduction? Introduction means background, the context of your study, which gives the direction to the reader from generalization to specific area. So this is the background information of your study. What is the purpose of study? This is the brief about your approach. What is the problem? Here in introductory part, you discuss the history, the basic problem, the focus, the framework. In this, you can include aims and objective of your study. So in this paragraph, this is the opening paragraph, and here this opening paragraph consists of two questions. Why are you studying? What are you studying? And what this particular topic is important. What you have done, what are you studying? What have you mentioned in your research proposal in introductory part, and why this particular topic is important to investigate. That is, you are focusing on problem. So when we talk about introductory part, so here you have to describe aims and objective, rationale of the study, significance of the study. What you have to do, you have to explain the contribution, research, how the research make contribution in different fields. What is the research question? What is your theoretical framework? What is the background of the study? What is the problem? What is the issue? Right? So in this introductory part, you have to mention all these things. Clear? Do you want to ask anything up till now? Do you want to ask anything? Shall I proceed? Okay. Now, the next step is, after introduction, the next step is literature review. What is literature review? Literature review in simple meaning means study already done by experts in the past, the related study, or the studies which have been done in the past by the experts. The study was related to your study. Now, suppose your topic is on social media. You can agree that maximum study have been done in the field of social media, but they have done something different. Some has done the social media impact on teenagers. Some has done social media impact on adults, or on overall impact of social media on society. So these are some studies. Now, what you can add, these are the past studies, but you cannot do the same study taking social media effect on adults. Now, what you have to do, you have to change a little bit, because that attribute will be your contribution to a new area. So literature review means, with the help of literature review, you can get assistance, you can get help, ki what studies has been done related to your area, and now what you can add, what you can add in the existing theory to make it new, right? So it is mandatory to review books, to read articles, to read any other relevant sources where you can get the information regarding your study. So literature review, with the help of literature review, we can identify gaps. See, these are the research gap. So research gap means it can be, it is undiscovered research, which this is undiscovered research where you can put your efforts and identify if there is a gap, where I can fill up this gap with my addition knowledge, with my uh, efforts. So what type of gap it is? See, when you go for literature review means, past knowledge. Past knowledge means somebody has already done some research in particular area, but there is a possibility, as time changes, there is a possibility that the effect or the situation has been changed. So past study. Whereas in past study, there is maybe a gap in population, there may be a gap in analysis, there may be a gap in implication, there may be a gap in methods, right? So in research gap, what we are doing, we know, but we are moving from known to unknown, because there is limitation that something has not been discovered, what has been discovered by previous expert. So what is the weakness of past finding? Whatever is the weakness of past finding, you can take it as an opportunity, and then on the basis of gap in population, you can add new things in by filling up the gap in concept. Gap in analysis, you can fill up the gap of analysis by gap in perspective. Gap in implication, you can fill up the gap in implication by filling up the gap in theory. Gap in methods, if there is gap in methods, then you can fill up the gap in methodology. So based on these gaps, you can discover, you can update the past study. So when we talk about literature review, so literature review has its 4 sections. The first section is in the field. What you have to do in first section, you should cover the overview of your field. It is simple, the over what you have done. Literature review means overview. It is a component along with your theory related to your topics. So what you have done in this section, what you are doing in this section, you are doing giving simple overview of your field of the study. So, whatever study has been done. In second section, what you can do, you can separate it into 3 categories. Those who are support to your study, those studies who are against with your study, and those study with having alternative approaches. So that means in second section, what you can do, you can divide into 3 categories. This section is divided into 3 categories. The studies which were done earlier. There are some studies which were done earlier are that support your study, that support your theory. There are some studies which are against, which do not support your study, and there are some different approaches also. The third section is of what you will do on the basis of the above section. What you will do, you will judge your analytical skills. How will you judge? You can show, you can analyze how particular theory is in favor of your study and how other varies. And in the last section, it is of conclusion, and here you will specify there is a gap, and now I'm going to filling up the gap based on your understanding. So this literature review is divided into 4 sections. On the basis of literature review, since you have identified the gap, you frame the research problem, right? Research problem means now you are at the phase of creating the research problem. Now you understood, as there is a gap, that means I can frame some question. For example, the problem in this community is that it has no hospital. Problem was, there was no hospital. So since you have identified there is no hospital, problem means since there is no hospital, and the death rate of that particular sector increases because it takes time to shift patient from village to hospital. There is a distance. So distance is not covered yet. So this is the problem. So how you are going to frame the research problem? This leads to research problem. That means there is a need of hospital. The objective is to create hospital, right? Most of the people of the village were dying. Why they are dying? This is the problem, right? So this problem was sorted because you have identified there was no hospital. Now the research problem is there is no hospital. Why there is no hospital? Objective means what you have to do. The objective of the study is to establish hospital, right? In the villages. So these are the research problem. Again, I will take one more example. Most farmers in the province are not adopting new technology. Why? This is problem. This is the problem. So what you have done? You have framed question. Are farmers unable to adopt newer technology because of financial resources are unlimited? Financial resources are limited. On the basis of research question, you will frame research hypothesis. So what type of research hypothesis you can frame? Farmers are not able to adopt new technology. This can be hypothesis. Objective, decide whether to adopt new technology or not, or how financial resources influence farmer. This can be an objective of the study. So based on research problem, you formulate research question. I hope that I had explained the research problem and research question at one time. So when you come up with the research question, when you have to formulate the research question, you have to start with the topic, and then you have to narrow down to specific question, and again you have to narrow it. I have given the example of same, right? Is there any problem up till now? Okay. Now, when we talk about uh, research question, we have talked about research problem, research design. When we talk about methodology, so in methodology means methods. What are your area of the study? You have already introduced the research problem. Now you are into the methodology part. What sample you have decided? What will be the sample technique? What how you will collect data? What will be the source of collecting data, primary or secondary, or what will be the hypothesis? So here in everything, in methodology part, you have to explain each and everything. But when you come to the methodology part, always remember that this methodology part is in past tense. This section, this methodology part will always be in past tense. Okay? Yes? And it should answer how you obtain your data and how you analyze your data. In methodology part, you have to tell what will be your source of collecting data, what is the sample of your study, what will be the sampling technique, what area you have decided for your research work. So analysis and obtaining data is it considered with these things, methodology. So when we come to the hypothesis part, are you aware about hypothesis? Hypothesis, simple word means assumption. So there are assumptions. Like in this case, if we frame hypothesis, see, people were dying in the villages. This is also the problem. So this was the problem. This was the issue. Why they are dying? Because there were no hospital. So you have identified the gap. There are no hospital. The research problem is there is a need of hospital. Objective is to create hospital. So will you frame the hypothesis for this? The death rate, there is no impact of hospital on death rate. Right? Can we create this type of hypothesis? Or we can create like the death rate decreases due to establishment of hospital. This can be hypothesis, na? So there are different type of hypotheses we can frame. Simple hypothesis, complex hypothesis, directional, non-directional. Generally, we consider null and alternative hypothesis. Let us take one example of each one of them. Simple hypothesis means there is single relationship, only one dependent variable and one independent variable we are talking about. In simple hypothesis, we talk about only one dependent and one independent variable. It shows the relationship between only one dependent and independent variable. Suppose if you eat more vegetable, you will lose weight. Here, independent variable is eating. Eating variable, as you eat more, as you eat more vegetable, you will lose weight faster, right? So eating vegetable is independent and losing weight is dependent variable, like, right? Complex means when you have more than two dependent as well as independent variables. Like taking the same example, eating more vegetable and fruits. See, in the above case, we are talking about only vegetable. Here we are talking about vegetable and fruits. So these are two independent variables. Leads to weight loss, glowing skin, reduce the risk of many diseases. So these are dependent. So this is called complex hypothesis. Directional hypothesis means which give direction to the future study. Like children aged 4 years eating proper food over 5 year period are having higher IQ level than children not having a proper meal. See, children aged 4 years eating proper food over a 5 year period are having higher IQ level than not having a proper meal. So this give directional. Those who are eating proper are having higher IQ level. So it is giving direction to something. Non-directional means, as the name itself has a meaning, there is no theory involved. In directional hypothesis, there is theory involved. The past studies said the same thing. Here, there is no theory involved and there is no predicting, there is no direction without predicting the future. Null hypothesis, you know everyone. It is a negative statement. It includes no relationship between dependent and independent variable, right? Causal hypothesis means it is giving causal effect. So in methodology part, you have to include how was the problem studied, what are the sample, what subject area you are going to include, what are the sampling techniques, how many samples are there, site, which site have you taken, data collection protocol, primary data, secondary data, how you have taken primary data with the help of questionnaire or observation or interview technique, what is the data analysis technique, what test have you applied, t-test, z-test, ANOVA, chi-square, why you have applied these tests, what computer software or program used to analyze the data, description of equipment, or is there any equipment you have used. So this, in methodology part, you have to consider all these things. That means in methodology, you have to give full detail of method, technique, instruments. If it is possible, then you can include photograph or diagram in case of experimental study. Describe questionnaire survey as I told you. In order to support validity and reliability, you have to provide some instruments. You have to before giving the facts and figures, you have to test your instruments. You have to support with validity and reliability. If there is experiment in the lab, then you have to describe the lab setting. You have to analyze the method if you are using some software. Now, coming up to the conclusion part. That means what you have done in the conclusion, do not repeat the same thing what you have obtained through the result, finding and result. What you have to do, whatever you have understood, whatever conclusion means, whatever you have obtained, you have to implement it. You have to write it, the main points, but do not repeat the same points, along with future scope limitations. So the language of conclusion should be simple and clear. Do not use phrases or idiom if you are not aware of. If readers are not aware of these idioms, then it is quite difficult for them to understand the things. Or just simply do not rewrite your result again. You have to note down the key points only. Elaborate it with your own words. So when you talk about thesis, so you have to consider all these things. Apart from when you talk about synopsis, you have to consider all these things, as well as you have to mention timeline also. Timeline means you have to mention the benchmark of your study, how you are going to complete, when you are going to complete it. Like if it is a research proposal or if it is a synopsis, then you have to mention in 4 months, it will take 4 months to collect data, 5 months to analysis, 3 months to come for the conclusion, 2 months for to assign the things, because every time you have to review it. right? So it will take a time. So you have to mention the timeline in your research proposal, not in thesis. You have to mention this timeline in research proposal or synopsis. Now, after conclusion, you have to mention the references. References means whatever uh, you have taken um, the help of with the help of some article. You have cited some article. You have taken the help of some journals, some books. So what you are doing here, you are giving references of the authors where you have taken some help. So in APA style, generally APA style is important. MLS style, Chicago style, ASS style, also these are also in use. So you have to mention it. Generally, we cite when we cite the articles of other authors, we give gratitude toward them. We have taken this thing from this author. So this is the way of acknowledging the thing, acknowledging the author. So that's why we give reference. So see, this is the pattern: effective PhD thesis drafting. Preliminary section, the first page are the same as synopsis. The second is title page. Next is abstract. Next is table of content. And then we have acknowledgement, preface also. Then we have table of content at last. Then in the second part, background of the discussion. That means here you have introduction part or literature review part. So research problem in the introduction part, you have identify the research problem, significance of your study, rationale of the study, aim and objective of the study. Literature reviews, another section of this part. And then see, I have already explained objective and significance, scope, limitation. Then next phase is of methodology. Then you have to explain the research methodology part. You have to explain all the things: methodology, design, sampling technique. And then methodology and approach is divided into two parts. First is research methodology, second is finding. Here what you'll do, in the finding you can divide it into two parts: descriptive analysis and inferential analysis. In descriptive analysis, you describe the things, you apply simple tabular form, you apply percentage analysis. With the help of pie chart or bar chart, you are going to explain the things in a descriptive way. And in inferential part, you have applied some test, so you will interpret the result. And then program and management, ethical consideration, you are giving a reference of your past study. Even if required, then time frame, budget, resource, health and safety consideration. This thing is to be written, mentioned in your research proposal if it is a funding agency. Supplement section is reference or appendix. So see, when you talk about completion of PhD thesis, the people have to set the benchmark. They have to set at what time they are going to complete it. So they should set some deadline for their research work, like introductory part. In introductory part, we have to meet with your supervisor. You have to conduct a more extensive review. You have to study the review. You have to study the literature part. You have to frame question, theoretical framework. So it should be done in this particular month. So you have to set the timeline. But then research design planning, you have to develop questionnaire. It should be circulated, offline, online mode, sampling method. It should be completed in this month. You have to set the timeline or deadline for your work if you actually want to get your thesis completed on time. Data collection process is vast process. It should be circulated, and after circulated, it should be gathered, and then we have to enter the codes. We have to convert it into Excel or Excel to. We have to transfer it from Excel to SPSS or any other form. So data analysis, part is to be after data collection, data analysis part will be done, and it will take this much of time. Then you have to compile all the things, you have to write full thesis, full draft, then you have to get it checked by your supervisor, all this, and then revision, redraft, all approval, and then making preparation of table, proofreading, binding, all these things you have to consider. So this is the concluding remark. What you have to do, the same thing, whatever I have told, all the things, editing, proofreading, what are included in PhD dissertation or thesis or manuscript. This is from my side. If you have any question, then you please ask. Methods or methodology, it is different. Methodology, nahi, it is method.